It looked like Stella Thornhope would be alone for Christmas. Her husband had died of cancer a few months before, and now she was snowed in. She decided not to bother with decorating the house. Late that afternoon, the doorbell rang. It was the delivery boy with a box. He asked her to sign for the package. After she did, she asked, "What's in the box?" The young man opened the box for her, and inside was a little puppy, a golden Labrador retriever. The delivery boy picked up the squirming pup and said, "This is for you, ma'am. He's 6 weeks old, completely housebroken." "Who sent this?" Stella asked. The young man set the animal down and handed her an envelope and said, "It's all explained in here, ma'am. The dog was bought last July while its mother was still pregnant. It was meant to be a Christmas gift to you." The young man then handed her a book, "How to Care for Your Labrador Retriever." She again asked, "Who sent this puppy?" As the young man turned to leave, he said, "Your husband, ma'am. Merry Christmas." She opened a letter from her husband. He had written it 3 weeks before he died and left it with the kennel owners to be delivered with the puppy at Christmas. Her husband admonished her to be strong and said he was waiting for the day when she would join him. He had sent her this young animal to keep her company until then. She picked up the golden furry ball and held it to her neck. She looked out the window at the neighbors' lights that outlined the houses. Suddenly she felt the most amazing sensation of peace. Her heart felt a wonder greater than the grief and loneliness that tugged at her. "Little fella," she said to the dog, "it's just you and me. But you know what? There's a box down in the basement that's got a little Christmas tree in it and some decorations and some lights that are going to just impress you to no end. And there's a manger scene down there. Let's go get it." God has a way of sending signals to remind us that life is stronger than death, light more powerful than darkness. Open the good book and reach for that kind of joy. That was a story shared by Robert Russell in his book entitled "Jesus Came to Be the Light." And I can't help but think of being a fly on the wall in that house when the box was opened up and the squirming puppy bounced out of that box into the boy's hands and then into the lady's arms. And what was dark turned to light. What was grief-filled turned to joy-filled. And what was lost turned into great, great hope. This time of the year, we're already looking toward another holiday. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but the stores already have not only Valentine's Day stuff on their shelves, but Easter stuff on their shelves. And so we're already moving on. Moving away from the lights and the trees and the packages and the cooking and the baking and the gathering to move toward the next big thing, the next new light. Just as a sign of solidarity, how many of you still have your Christmas tree up? Excellent. We are still in the 12 days of Christmas, so that's a good thing. When do you think you might take those down? You don't have to answer that. Quite frankly, in our first appointment, there was a lady who, she would put a Christmas tree up, but she had a tree in her kitchen 365 days a year. It was a tree, it was a potted tree that she trimmed and pruned, and then she decorated it for every holiday. It was Christmas, and then it was Valentine's Day, and then it was something else, and then it was something else. And that's just, and she had lights on it all year round. That whole idea then of light, at least for her, for Carol, was a constant reminder of God's presence with her and with the world. Well, I shared that story from Robert Russell about Stella Thornhope, and it's not unlike the story of the nation of Israel or the world at the time of the birth of Christ. Because here the world was living in a very dark place. It started even longer than that before that. This whole idea of light coming into the world started in Genesis. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was hovering over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." Last week we discussed how fast light travels and what that would have looked like when God said, "Let there be light," and what would have transpired in that moment. Well, we know that not long after God said, "Let there be light," there was a great flood that wiped out evil and sin-filled people, restored humanity through 8 people, Noah, his wife, and his family. And yet the world was still hovering in this darkness. The threat and the curse of sin was still very prevalent around and in and through humanity. Prophet after prophet after prophet spoke of this coming Messiah, this coming Savior, this coming Jesus. Isaiah talks about this light that will cast into the world, shine into the world. And they waited. I don't know how patient they were, but they waited, waiting for this newborn. And then, lo and behold, angels come and tell the shepherds, tonight in the city of David is born a Savior who is Christ the Lord. And they were at first terrified, and the first words out of the angel's mouth was, "Fear not, but go and see." And so they did. And when they saw the baby Jesus and they knelt down to worship him, and they went away from there in awe, and they told everybody who had a pulse what they had seen and what they had heard. So everybody in Bethlehem was buzzing about this Jesus, this Messiah, this baby born in a manger, the one who has fulfilled the prophecy. That's not the end of the story, though. Because somewhere, and it doesn't specify a distinct spot or a distinct geographical location, but somewhere there were people, they did nothing but study the stars. That was their vocation. It couldn't have been a hobby. And I don't know how they studied them without the Hubble telescope, but they did. They noticed patterns in the sky. They followed trajectories of things as these glowing orbs moved across the sky. And lo and behold, as they are studying the skies, something is different. There's a new light in the sky that wasn't there before. Apparently, they were not only studiers of the stars, but they were listeners of the news. In the scripture from Matthew 2, it says, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east, they came to Jerusalem. Now catch this. They came to the capital city of Israel, Jerusalem. If you have heard of a king that was born somewhere, you would assume that it would be in a major city, right? It's not going to be in Nazareth or Bethlehem. No, we would go to Harrisburg, or we would go to Washington, D.C. to see this new person. They go to Jerusalem, they say, "We have come to see the King of the Jews." Somewhere they've heard this title. Somewhere they have heard of this baby being born. Do you suppose it was because the shepherds ran out of that place and told everybody they could think of? It's sort of like It's sort of like the internet. You put something on Facebook, and within 2 hours, it's halfway across the country, maybe even halfway around the world. Case in point, I think it might have been Monday. I just put a little blurb on Facebook. In case you hadn't noticed, each day gets a little bit more daylight added to it. We're moving toward spring, folks. We're moving toward daylight savings in the second week of March. We spring ahead, we lose an hour, but guess what? We have more daylight. And do you realize within about a 12-hour period of time, over 40 people saw that, either liked it, shared it, or said something about it? That's what light does. It brings hope to a dark world. And believe me, in the doldrums of winter, when it gets dark at sometimes 4:30 in the afternoon, and you look out and you just groan. Well, what else can we do? Let's go watch TV, or eat ice cream, or go to bed. But no, from December 21st, 22nd? I never get those right. 21st, isn't it? First day of winter is also the first day when daylight continues to be added to our day, a little bit at a time. And lo and behold, in a week or two from now, you're going to look out at almost 6 o'clock, and it'll just nicely be starting to get dark. That's the beauty of daylight, or light in itself, is it is contagious, a good kind of contagious. And here, the shepherds have told everybody that they can think of about this newborn baby, and somewhere far to the east, or far, far away, these magi who are studying the stars have heard of this king being born of the Jews, and they want to go see. Well, they go to King Herod, and King Herod hears about this, and he's troubled. This is the same King Herod who had members of his family murdered because he was paranoid, fearful that they might take his throne. And when he hears that there's a baby born king of the Jews, that is another competitor to the throne. And he will have to figure out a way to eliminate this baby. Well, the story goes on through Matthew, and he wants the magi, or the wise men, to go and search and find the baby and let him know where the baby is so he might go worship him. Well, as it turns out, they find out that Bethlehem is the city they should have gone to, and it's not really a city, it's more like a town. Maybe not even much more like a town, but more like a hamlet. And so they go to Bethlehem in the land of Judah, where the baby Jesus, the Christ, will be born. And so they continued on. They did not have one of those fold-out road maps. They did not have their GPS. They followed the star. A new star. An unusual star. But they followed it and followed it and followed it until they got to Bethlehem. When they saw the star, they were overjoyed. On coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I wonder how much time has elapsed between Christmas, the birth of Jesus, and the wise men, or the magi, coming to Bethlehem to meet Jesus in a house and not a manger. It says, immediately they bowed down and worshiped him, and opened their treasures and presented him with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. We love light. Light gives us hope, it gives us meaning, it gives us direction. in a world that is darkened by sin and the curse of sin, when light streams into a dark place, it eliminates darkness. It casts out darkness, it pushes back against the darkness, and darkness cannot overcome it. When Matthew wrote this gospel, he wanted us to see a couple things. He wanted us to see the difference between a good shepherd, Jesus, and bad shepherds, the Pharisees. He wanted us to see the difference between a good king, Jesus, and an evil bad king, Herod. Great contrast between, and in both of those, you could see darkness and light contrasting, pushing against one another, the tension between dark and light, good and bad. And so we, as followers of Jesus Christ, we seek the light. We want to embrace the light. We want the light to shine on us. We want everything about God, the holiness of God, the grace of God, all the attributes of God to be poured out on us. And God says, yes, I can do that. It's sort of like Stella Thornhope. We receive a gift from our Father, and we unwrap it, and we can't figure out, is this Jesus? Is this for us? Is he really for us? If you are walking through a dark valley and you receive a gift, the gift of Christ, the light of the world shining into your darkness, it will lift your spirits. He can lift your spirits. The metaphor of light is strong. Whether it's about Stella Thornhope or about another evidence of hope born out in light. A man tells a story about a house in their subdivision. It was December. Everyone had their Christmas lights on, celebrating Christmas. Well, December came and December went, and then it was January, and most everyone in the subdivision had taken their lights down, and there was this one house that kept their lights burning day and night. And the man thought to himself, well, okay, maybe they're just overzealous. But then January came and January went, and then it turned into February. And the lights were still on day and night. And so the man became a little bit upset and thought, okay, maybe they're too lazy to take their lights down. At least they can shut them off. Well, February came, and February left, and it was the middle of March. And at this point, the man was belligerent, almost berserk over his neighbors leaving their lights on. And then, on March 16th, he drove by the house and saw a sign that said, "Welcome home, Jimmy." And later learned the family had had a son in Vietnam, and they had left their Christmas lights on in anticipation of his return. Lights, my friends, are symbols of hope. God knew that, knows that, and has sent the light of the world to us. Amen. We are in a new year. New challenges, new opportunities, times for being faithful to God's call. The things that we have planned for this year hopefully will carry us to places we've never been before, to talk to people we've never spoken to before, to share the love and the peace and the good news of Jesus Christ with those who need it more than ever. And so in your presence here in worship, your prayers either from your pew or from your home, the gifts that you give, the moments, and the moments when you roll up your sleeves and serve in God's kingdom. And I understand here in a couple weeks, you will smell peanut butter and buttercream and coconut and chocolate. Are you going to be chocolatier or whatever they call them again? Can I help you? I'll stir the chocolate. Anytime you can roll up your sleeves in service, and especially the importance of your witness to a world that's dark, to a world that's unsure that Jesus is who he says he is. Most likely, the world out there will see Jesus in and through us, our actions, our words, what we do, how we live. And so, First Church, 2017 is already a week old. Are you ready to continue the journey? Wow, 2 people. Awesome. You know what? If only one person said, yes, I would be ready to go right now to do whatever it is God calls us to do, because I understand that God, the old saying where 2 or 3 are gathered, God is there. We have more than 2 or 3 here, so I'm sure that God is here. As the ushers come forward, continue to be First Church. We will continue to be some effective leaders in Lewistown and beyond. And as we work with other churches and other faith communities, we will continue to influence this place for Jesus Christ.